One of the most overlooked concepts in training is something called end range strength. And despite how fancy that sounds, the idea is actually pretty simple. Most people spend the majority of their training working in the middle of their available range of motion. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. The problem is that we tend to be the weakest and least coordinated at the very edges of our movement capabilities. These are the positions where a muscle is either maximally lengthened or maximally shortened. In other words, the positions where things start to feel vulnerable. And that's exactly why I think spending at least some time training those positions is extremely valuable. Because flexibility without strength isn't particularly useful, and strength that only exists in the middle of a movement has limitations too. A few examples of end range training are pike hip flexor lifts, where you're actively trying to lift the leg at the very top of your available hip flexion. Active pigeon, where most people can flop into a pigeon stretch, but far fewer can create meaningful force and control there. And single-legged mornings, which are a great example of developing strength and balance in a deep hip hinge where the hamstrings are working from a very lengthened position. The goal isn't to turn every workout into a mobility session. It's simply to build strength and control in the areas where you typically have the least of it. Because the more positions you can confidently control, the more capable and resilient your body tends to become.